He'd want to know if he didn't know, and, well, somebody better be with him if he did know.
Did you think that Dee might know her condition?
Well, I wasn't, well, I figured he would by then, yes.
And you want to find out if you did know about it?
Yes.
You want to break the news to him?
No, I didn't want to break it.
You didn't want to break the news to him about it?
I wanted to be there if somebody did, and with him afterwards.
And with him afterwards?
Yes.
Why was that?
Oh, I'd just been living with him. He was a friend of mine, a very close friend.
But why would you want to be with him? Now, he hadn't been in the fire, had he?
It was his wife.
Yes.
Did you find any evidence of assault?
No.
What, in your opinion, caused death?
I feel that death was caused by the fire.
Mr. Flickenger, we just returned from the area, I believe it's south of the First Lutheran Church here in Blackwell, which is completely devastated, as much as we could tell, as dark as it is this time. I understand that you live down in that area.
That is right.
You say we. What does your family consist of?
My wife, my daughter, my 2 grandchildren, my son-in-law.
Well, where are they now, sir?
I do not know. I haven't seen them since about 9 o'clock last night. I presume them to be all right.
You haven't seen them since
no.
the tornado hit?
Yes, after the tornado hit, we all came out of the cellar. I started them to town, and in the care of my son-in-law, and I do not know where they're at today. But I presume that they are...
Well, but you did see them all
alive
and uninjured after
certainly.
the tornado.
That's right. That's
so
right.
You know they're somewhere. Well, how did your neighbors fare during this tornado?
Well, there was 15 of us all told down in the cellar. 2 of them were pretty badly hurt. The shock was great on some of the ladies, not so much on the men. But the children, there was several children in there, and they was pretty well frightened. But outside of that, everything was going along good.
And this was in the 600 block on
East Oklahoma. That's right.
I believe you told me that all the homes there were just
not a home standing. That's right. Out of about 13 or 14 homes, there is none there whatsoever. No trace of them. Some of them.
And your name again, sir?
Flickenger, William Flickenger.
And your occupation?
Carpenter.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Captain Henley, I understand that you're in charge of the Salvation Army operation here. I wonder if you could give us some idea of the extent of your operation here in Blackwell.
Well, we arrived here last evening about 10 or 10:15, just shortly after the disaster. And at that time, of course, there was a lot of confusion. It was very difficult to try to get set up. But we set up here in the First Baptist Church. And then we went out to the armory and set up out there, helped them get set up out there for taking care of those that had passed away.
About how many workers do you have in here?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose we've got 35, maybe, something like that, and we got more coming in today. There's a truckload of food coming in that'll be in about 10:30 this morning, and also truckload of clothing, or maybe a couple of truckloads of clothing. We've already received 1 truckload now of food and clothing.
Well, we've certainly seen a lot of evidence of the helpfulness of all that food around here. I've seen many familiar Oklahoma City policemen in droves up here, and of course there are policemen, officers, people, doctors have been in here from all over this part of the state to help, and it's been wonderful to have the coffee and sandwiches on hand. What are some of the other things that you all have been doing here?
Well, of course, we've been registering people. That was one of the first things that we started doing, was registering people. And then afterwards, the Red Cross came in, and they've been helping with it, too, and taking over. We've sort of just left it up to them since they've came in to take over that part of the activity.
Well, what is your opinion of the extent of the damage of this tornado in Blackwell?
Well, at the present time, as far as we know, there are 15 dead. And of course, we haven't been able to get a figure on the number of people that are in the hospitals. The hospitals are crowded out, and I understand from various sources that they went to hospitals in different towns around here, you see. And so it's quite a disaster.